conditioner down. Just enough to keep the air in here. For the replay crew, I don't have any buttons or blue things for you to hit on the bottom, I don't think, but yeah, we should be going directly to it. We're going to wait a couple of seconds to make sure that we actually have people here. I finally got a little bit of downtime to play catch up, and you know what? I think I'm going to try and get no affiliation. I think I'm going to try and get this link out to the members as well. So if I disappear for a second, that's why. All right, share. How do I share this damn thing? There it is. Yeah, hang on 1 second. I got to share this out. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. I just had to share that out. Right now I'm in downtown Norfolk. Had an appointment. I had to drop the boy off at. Let me scroll through the chat here real quick. Looks like Andy Pearson first, Rose number 2, West Virginia Pappy. You're deterred. There we go. Let's see here. Got Loretta's in the house. Miko's here. Andy Pearson. Teresa, how you guys doing today? Let's see here. We'll let the room fill up a little bit more. It looks like YouTube is always so fickle. It's always such a pain. It's like 6, 5, 7, 5, 3, 5. Like, do me a favor, guys. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. It'll draw more people in here. Yeah, it also strokes my ego as well. As you can see, I'm parked in an industrial area, going to this place that you must never know about. Cuckfee showed up. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. All right, look, so we got about 7 people in here. I guess that's going to be enough for a Monday afternoon, that's for sure. I got you on the steering wheel, so no fancy camera gadgets or whatever it may be. I got about an hour to sit here, I think. About an hour. It's all about your ego. Stroke my ego. Cuckfee says he's watching from the People's Republic of Michigan. Making the last load of feed for 6,000 cows. Gotcha. Okay, so we've got about 16 people in here. We get started here. As you can see by the title, we'll talk about pretty much whatever you guys want to talk about, but I've got 3 main things I want to talk about. One is cancer, the girlfriend status, what's been going on, people are like, where you been? And I try to tell people, but if they're not members, then they don't really know. Bob, Peta, what's going on, broseph? So the 2 weeks ago, the girlfriend went into the hospital because like her whole guts, like three levels of gut pain, whatever it may be. And good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Are just all sorts of pain, and she wasn't eating, so she was like constantly like stomach and hunger pains, gastrointestinal stress, and then obviously the liver that is torn into Swiss cheese by her metastatic cancer. And so basically what's happening is, well, what happened was she spent about a week in the hospital. They treated her for infection. They could never figure any of the stuff out. But as soon as she was no longer like having a fever for more than 24 hours, so they released her and gave her a bunch of drugs. She also has it'll come to me. It's something that's caused by the immunotherapy. What's up, Rose? So she was on medication for that, and then took her home for about 2-3 days, and all she did was lay in the bed. She wouldn't eat. She barely even got up to go to the bathroom. Finally she spiked a fever. Tried to get that fever down with ibuprofen, because Tylenol is really hard on the liver. It wasn't going down. Just doing everything I could to get that fever. Finally she sparked 103.5, I think. I was like, we got to go. So we got her downstairs out of the apartment, got her over to the hospital. Thank God the hospital's like a 4-minute drive from our house. Robolox, what's going on, broseph? Good to see you. But anyway, so got her in the hospital, got her in the ER. They started to treat her. They started going through all of their protocols and such. And finally, they decided to admit her after a couple of hours. What do we got here? Oh, Teresa's just saying hi. So basically we spent the last week in the hospital. So now we're at 2 weeks now. But she got released yesterday. She had she had so many scans. They were worried she was going to start to glow. What's up, Rachel? But they think that it was some form of, and I won't even try to say the name of it, but basically it's a infection of the bone marrow. And I mean, they were throwing every type of antibiotic they could at her. We never really got to the high level, like, take this antibiotic or you die kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen that protocol used before, and it's not pretty. They treated her for all that, and then she was able to finally, like, the biggest thing for her is the nausea, and she can't be, and the nausea is making it so she can't eat. Now they do have her on the patch. It's kind of like the pharmaceutical grade patch that you would it's not over the counter for like seasickness and stuff or nausea, but it's pharmaceutical. I think it's like Siloxane or something like that. But anyway, so that seems to be working to an extent. She still like has no desire to eat. And so, you know, we went over. So she got basically kicked out of the hospital. No fever, which is great. What's up, Kings? What's up, man? So yesterday was her first day back in the house. She slept okay last night. We both kind of rolled around a lot, but it's a king size bed, so it's not a big deal. But so basically, I've been a nurse for the last 2 weeks, which is not a big deal. You know, it's all part of that. You know, for better or worse, that kind of stuff. Even though we're not married, but we might as well be. Anyway, she's at home resting. I'm in Norfolk, dropping off the boy to go to an appointment that he had, and he's going to be in there for about an hour. So I figured I'd throw a live stream at you. To Old Crowns Homestead, hey, thanks for showing up. Make sure everybody hits that thumbs up button and make sure that you're subscribed, because I've noticed that my numbers haven't changed, but because YouTube is a fickle machine where if like people aren't using it, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like a muscle memory. If they're not using my channel, if they're not using me, then my channel gets downgraded and so on and stuff. So research chaga tea. Yeah, man, we're watching all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're watching all that stuff. And I hate to say it, but it's like one of the biggest, and I appreciate the comment. I truly do. So I've been kind of like the gatekeeper for her for about a week. And, you know, everybody, it's like, try this and do that and do this. I saw this and I saw that. I've heard everything from nicotine patches on your neck to, I mean, just the, you know, just some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it works. I'm not saying it don't work. But, you know, I've always been, I love homeopathic medicine. But, you know, there are certain times where, like, okay, so that stuff might work if I've got about 3 months to heal somebody. You know what I'm saying? But when that person needs to be healed now, we go to modern medicine, as long as it's not going to do more damage. But let's see here. Loretta, appreciate you. But that's where I've been. That's what I'm doing. You know, the upside to her being home is that I'll be able to do more videos. I'll be able to get back on my live stream schedule of only every Friday, unless I disappear for a while and then I'm able to come back like this. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all need someone to take charge and keep it in line. There you go. But, you know, and everybody's like, so how are you doing? Well, you know, I'm running on Red Bull and just, you know, internal, you know, guile, you know, but I'm fine. I've been through worse situations. So, Nastia, hey, how are you? Let's see here. I feel like I missed somebody, but I don't think I did. All right, so with that said, that's where I've been. That's the whole cancer thing. You know, let's see here. Cuckfee says, Bear Independent had problems with his live stream this morning. YouTube didn't like what was he talking about? What was he talking about? Because I know that they've been, man, the heat is coming in here. I'm going to turn this up just a hair. Hopefully that's not too loud, is it, guys? Let me know if that's too loud and I'll figure out something else. But I had to turn the air conditioner up just a hair. But yeah, hey, Cuck, what was Bear Independent talking about? Anyway, my next subject was, what's up, Get Vegan Cookies, good reviews, good to go, bro, Sif. That's right, I'm still alive. And if you're just popping in, I just told the cancer story, so you might have to get it on the replay. Anyway, so the next one was this, the whole no kings thing, you know, 5x5, this, I appreciate it, Tarisha. The whole no kings thing, it's kind of interesting, you know, Bear was talking about Israel, money going to tokens. Yeah, I don't know about that. Bear is, yeah, I hate to say it, guys, but they're using cell phones and they're in the middle of nowhere, so they're always going to have problems. The only time that they don't have like real problems is when they're like live streaming from their Wi-Fi using a PC. They actually have somebody who is kind of knowledgeable in this genre that we work in. On making that happen, and they've been making some good content lately. But if you haven't had a chance, there's a couple of videos out there where Bear, like, well, there's one out there that I really liked. I put it out on the TikTok yesterday. He was I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, where it's like tourniquet jerk, left arm, you know, something like that. But I guess he threw a firecracker. Or I think it was no more than just a good-sized firecracker. They were doing a live stream or something, and he just threw it in the room. And then when it went off, like the woman and another guy in the middle, and then the old guy on the end, they basically like just almost crapped themselves. And then when it went, it's like bang, and he goes, tourniquet, tourniquet check, left arm. And she's like, and well, the woman screamed F-U-C-K, you know what I'm saying? You know, but it was just funny. It was just, you made me say the F word on the internet, and she ran away. It was totally unscripted. It was pretty funny. King says, powers that be screw up live. Yeah, it is. I mean, it happens. I've had bad lives. I've had bad lives that were my fault. I mean, it happens. It happens, but you know, it is what it is. But getting back, what do we got here? Bradley, hey Bradley, what's up, Broseph? Sasquatch, where he plays a joke with TNT in woodpile, is epic. Ah, I see. No Kings was regularly quiet in India. Excuse me, had enough other shootings not related to keep cops busy. Yeah, Vegan says, like the cops that mag dumped a handcuffed man in secure police car while the acorn fell on the roof. Oh, I remember that one, yeah. Screwing up your live video. Yeah. But yeah, the whole no kings thing, it was kind of a joke. But I've got a little bit of insight on that one. What's up, Garden? So yesterday I get this email from a message on TikTok. Basically it's like, hey, we really need your help with this, and I was like, and then I look at it, and I look at the URL, and it's a Google documents link. Vegan Cookie, 2 months review, Doomsday Prepper, keep on trucking it. Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Did you just hit 2 months, or did you just do some magical thing? How are you from Scottish Highlands? Oh, how are you from the Scottish? Hey, what's up? Okay, Garden, I got you, bro. I got you. Scottish? I don't know if I sounded Scottish or Irish. I'm not sure. I can't really do the accent. But I love the kilts. I love the kilts. I need to get one. Bradley says, dang, Vegan just hearing about this. Yeah, that cost him. I'm sure of it. Oh, let's see here. Oh, and oh, by the way, guys, if you feel like throwing some money at me, so if you guys didn't know this, like YouTube puts us on like quotas, and if we don't make like what is it, like $100 once a month, or $100 between a certain period during the month, then we don't get paid until like the next month. So if you, I've been kind of absent, so if you want to throw some cash my way, that'll be where it goes. Also, just an update. I've got to figure out skills of truth, knowledge is power. I was undercover. I got you, bro. I got you. So the $500 something that you guys have given me for the new computer may actually be getting spent here soon, because the headquarters computer is bleh. It's got bleh. I can do it too. Laugh out loud. It's a free member chat. Increase yes. In case you was, oh, there we go. Vegan cookies. Everybody, make sure I would give vegan cookies a like for that. Appreciate you, bro. You got my little heart, my little heart thingy. Am I doing that right? I know I'm doing that wrong. There we go. It's like the ugliest heart there ever was. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. No, you're not, bro. I just interact with people. That's all. I actually kind of like pay attention to the people who talk to me. I love having conversations. But anyway, so the computer is, I use editing software called Camtasia. I've been running on a Camtasia 8 license for probably like 12, maybe even 15 years. And finally it stopped working. I did everything I could. And so that now that computer's not done. It's still there. It's still working to do other things. But as far as video editing, it's kind of screwing everything up. So I've started to use the laptop that I live stream on, which I don't want to, because sometimes the software just bangs. It just messes itself up. It's like banging heads. But I've started using that for video editing. So it looks like I'll be like going into breaking out the old credit card, which I don't want to do, to buy a new computer to do the video editing on. So your money will be well spent. Bradley said, this is a different live through YouTube. Did you change, or is this just because you're on the phone? There was more than one. That would be really weird if there was more than one, because this is the only one that I've turned on. So Lamb's Light, good to see you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up. 32 people, only 14 thumbs up. What's in your wallet? What's it showing on your side? Anyway, so let's go ahead and get to the the No Kings thing. So yeah, well, let's see what happens with. Let's see the benefits of the No Kings thing. Well, let's see. You got a a state senator shot and killed along with her husband. You got another state senator shot along with his wife, but not killed. Let's see. You got the police chasing down and arresting somebody who weighs easily 300 pounds, but when the guy that came to the door was actually fit and wearing a human mask, acting as a policeman. Yeah, that didn't cost any money. I wonder how that happened. Oh, by the way, there was a list of people he was going to go and schwack if he could get away with it. Let's see that came from. Oh, and oh, by the way, he had three with No Kings flyers in his vehicle. Okay, yeah, that's all great stuff that they did. And then when I say they did, it's like it's like, well, that's misinformation. No, it's not, because the whole organization is this Morpheus group of data points, you know what I'm saying, where they just try to talk to people. And as I was telling you earlier, and I'm sorry I'm not the king isn't going anywhere. I got you, bro. As I was telling you earlier, I got a little message on my TikTok, and I was like, hey, we really need your help, and it was like a Google Documents message. I was like, okay, I'll take the chance. This is my crap computer anyway, right? So I click on the link, and what is it? It's the instructions for going to one of these events, and what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to wear, how you're supposed to act, how to resist, QR codes for printing out flyers. And I'm like, what in the hell? And I'm just like, these people are like reaching out. They're reaching out to developers on TikTok to try and see if they can get. I mean, it's like they didn't even look at the channel. It's like they didn't even go like, hey, I wonder if this guy, you know. No, they're just finding developers and shotgunning these things out, is what they're doing, you know. I'll show you on Discord after a bit. Back to work for me. Got you, Bradley. Protest consists of a voice and visuals. Anything else is a riot. I know, right? It could be part of sleeper cells. Loretta's talking about sleeper cells. You know, let's stay on point. Let's stay on point, because I think, you know, I contemplated doing one of my it's basically a situation update video where I categorize these things, kind of break into the old life that I used to lead and do some analytical stuff, because there are some data points that are that connect to I don't even want to say, but there's data points out there that do connect, and it's kind of like the ability to see things that other people don't normally see. No, I'm not a superhero. I just know what I'm looking at. You know, it's kind of like playing frickin' that three-dimensional chess. You know, that's really what it comes down to. But so these mostly peaceful gatherings, you know, were easily promoted on a specific day to take attention away from the good things that were happening. Now, I personally didn't like the whole the 250-year birthday of the Army, you know, being streamed, and, you know, tanks rolling down the thing, because, you know, it's if you were watching any of it, the China bots were in there and then just posting like tons of China flags. And one might think that it was all about like, hey, this looks like China, but, you know, North Korea does it. Europe, they do it in Europe, okay? But it was very reminiscent of, you know, the Chinese military parades to show power. But here's the thing, why there's nothing wrong with doing, oh, it's going to cost $45 million. Oh, yes, Senator. Did you spend $45 million on, you know, the goldfish experiment that did nothing? Oh, but that was for the greater good. Yeah, shut the hell up. These guys are talking about money. If you guys don't know this, but we don't talk about money in millions anymore. And yeah, it does matter. It does matter that $1 million does matter. You know what I'm saying? But when we're talking about our budget and spending, we talk in billions of dollars. You know, and unfortunately sometimes trillions of dollars, but for the most part it's billions of dollars. So this whole 45, they know damn well that's a drop in the bucket. They know it's nothing, okay? And I see I got a couple of paragraphs showing up, coming in here, but I'm going to, I'll scroll back up here in a second. You know, it's like, they talk about fraud, waste, and abuse, and then we do something about it. Then they attack the people who are finding the fraud, waste, and abuse. And then we say, hey, we're going to celebrate something that's kind of important, and we're going to use it to project power without actually doing anything. It's actually called soft power projection. And they complain about that. And, you know, it's like 200,000 people showed up in San Diego to march. Dynamite. Mostly Mexican community. Sorry, but it's true. That's just the way it is. All these people with flags for, you know, talking about how great this country is, but they don't want to live there. You know, it's all fictitious, and it's all. I won't say it's a big game, because I'm sure there's some stuff out there. But getting on to the whole sleeper cell thing, yeah, there's probably sleeper cells in the United States, but I think that it would benefit, you know, if the sleeper cells were really smart. If they were really smart, you know, the idea is that they would cause damage, because any attack on U.S. soil will only bring Americans together. Rose just gave me $5. Thank you, Rose. You're getting that heart and you're getting the thumbs up. I guess I didn't get there in time for the thing, but everybody make sure to give Rose a thumbs up. I appreciate you. Peter's got to run. We'll talk to you later. But the you know, they have, you know, these sleeper cells. Everybody kind of forgets there's a cause and effect. If you think about like anything that's ever happened, like if you go to Pearl Harbor, they attacked us, it had never happened before, and we just schwacked the hell out of them. If you think about, you know, World War II or the total World War II effects, don't drive into my car, lady. Pay attention to whether you're going on your bicycle. Jesus. Freaking tree hugging turds. I'm in tree hugger land right now. Anyway, there's rainbows everywhere. Anywho, you know, if you think about any time that, you know, like 9/11, anytime we've ever been attacked, it's always just completely unified the country. The United States has always unified around a war of good cause. And so we need to be conscious of that, and we need to remember that if a sleeper cell were to do something crazy, everybody's like, you know, portable nukes, dirty bombs, you know, stuff like that. I mean, what was the last one? What was it? The explosion at the, what was it? The New York Marathon, you know, some years back. You know, they just tracked those people down, those two boys down, and they just killed one outright. And then the other one, you know, he's probably sitting in prison someplace. I'm not sure where he is, but you know, it always unifies the nation. So it's very dangerous for them to do the things that we talk about them doing. You know what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword. What's up, Thiago? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Brazil. Been there one time. Been there one time. It's good beer. The Bull. Let's see. But I don't know. Let's see here. Running over to get 50 points for the old people, 100 points for the younger ones. I'm glad we hadn't seen that. There was also a case during these gatherings where somebody drove a minivan into some people. I don't know the details of it. It really wasn't part of mainstream news. You know, a lot of this stuff was not part of mainstream news other than that shooting, right? There was also another shooting that happened. So there was actually two shootings that happened. And I'm not talking about the two on the same dude. I'm talking in another place. I think it was San Francisco. Let's see here. Rose says, I posted my sermon in the Discord yesterday. The people just don't really understand the cause and effect of the undocumented. We may have some that are good, but two, there are those that are not. Yeah, and you know the problem is they're going to be, you know, they're going to be snatched up. You know, it's I feel sorry for these people. I truly do. I know that they're just looking for a better life. I truly do. But you know, here's the thing. Why can't they just change things the way they live? You know, they're in every single time, instead of having a color revolution, which is what we see in all these, you know, these very dictator friendly countries, you know, they have these color revolutions where nothing changes and things just get worse. You know, they could just have like a real revolution where they actually like storm their White House and get their people and then like have like a court, like restructure the government, you know what I'm saying? And make sure that it's not mob rule, because mob rule never works. Never works. But why can't they just fix their own damn country? You know? It's crazy. Let's see, Bradley says, I seen video with pics of the guy who died, who did the shooting in Minnesota, and the guy they caught. Seems sketchy. Dude looks like he lost 40 pounds. Yeah, I know. I saw that. And that's actually something a lot of people were posting. It's like, what? Okay, so great. You arrested this guy. You know, it's crazy. There's a battle right now within DC. What are you talking about, Kings? Is it in the news or something? What's going on? You know, obviously we want to know, but just be brief. Let's see here. Harry says, what's up, Harry? Down in Cincinnati, someone tossed mason jars full of wasps into protesters. Wow, that's crazy. What's up, Cool Coat? Good to see you, man. Cool Coat, one of my original followers from back in the beyond days of backness. Back, not black. Backness. Back in black. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, this whole protest thing, it's you know, here's the thing, it's not totally out of control. It's not totally out of control. There are, you know, it's more than, no, let me tell you this. After I was reading the stuff that got sent to me, I'm going to turn the circumcision down a little bit. Retired hiker, there you go, bro. They are completely, these people that are doing these protests, specifically with the No Kings organization, they know that what they're doing isn't working. They know it. It actually was in the email or was in the message that got sent to me. It actually, like, you know, would you guys like me to make a video later on today that talks about that No Kings document? I can actually bring it up. I did save it. What's up, not a sponsor? Good to see you. People are supposed to protect us. Supporting protests really messes with my mind. Yeah, well, you know, if everybody's got an opinion, man, and everybody's got a platform, and they can say what they want to say. It just depends on who's gonna listen to you. You know. That's nice. They're pollinating Cincinnati. Steve Hill from Fox to run for California. Steve Hilton, gotcha. Yeah, I did hear there was a couple people that were going to run for governor in California. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. You know, California's been underwater for so long and nobody has tried. And anybody who does try to fix this just can't get any traction there, so. Let's see here. Not an opinion. Gotcha. Can't stay, I'm still left. Gotcha, not a sponsor. Miko says Walmart CDO is paying them $200 a day to protest, boycott Walmart. Yeah, I'm tracking with you. I get it, man. I get it. Oh, I guess Pilgrim's in here. I didn't see you, bro. Catitude, how you doing? Good afternoon, all you strangers in here. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know. Okay, so I don't know how much longer this will last, but I'm just going to keep going. Don't run away. Because he may be coming out here shortly. He was supposed to be in there for like 2 hours, but the way they're doing it is a little weird. Still technically got like 50 minutes, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, just again, kind of like getting you guys know, you know, Harry says locally a large number of older people were at the protest. They were people who should know better. Gotcha. Stray Kitten says who am I talking about? I'm at an appointment. I drove the girlfriend's boy, or young man, he's technically 18 now, to his appointment. It was basically an hour and a half a day. He's not familiar with downtown Norfolk, and he's not a great driver, so I got voluntold to do it. Let's see here. Surprise, the king didn't throw the protesters in the dungeons. Well, you know, that's just it. You know, they can't do that. We've got to let these people speak. You know what I'm saying? No one would care. You know, it's like, so let me break it down for you. You guys remember the Million Man March? I don't remember any hostilities at all from the Million Man March. Okay? And that is pretty awesome. That is the power of the people being exercised. And these, so it makes you think about the whole Malcolm X, the whole, you know, anti-racism thing, you know, the power of just saying no and standing there. You know what I'm saying? You know, did you teach him how to drive? I did not teach him how to drive. So he wouldn't let me anyway. I mean, I was the first one to teach him how to drive in a parking lot, but after that it was his mom. So, and we both drive very differently. So anyway, but getting back to this, you know, the power of the people, Martin Luther King, this tells you exactly why. I mean, this is an indicator. This is a data point that should tell you exactly why these people, these blue-haired freaky people, okay, don't reference Martin Luther King or that agenda. The people in Black Lives Matter, never referenced Martin Luther King because he was always against chaos and violence. He always made sure that there was no, it was a legal protest and gathering. You know what I'm saying? He did it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew that would work. These people don't want that. If they really wanted things to be fixed, they would be doing things the MLK way. It's that easy. It works. He made it work. His group made it work. You know what I'm saying? It's it's that simple. It's like, 1 + 1 does equal 2. Yeah, because MLK stood for something. Yeah, these people are all scatterbrained Janes. Like I said, we getting the $5,000. What are you talking about, Greg? The $5,000 for what? I want some money. Let's see here. Let them speak, but no car fires, looting, damaging. Yeah, exactly. If they want this attention, they'll get the same attention on the mainstream media that they're getting now. It'll just be not negative. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why they don't see that, which means that they have a different agenda, which means that they do want to cause problems. They do want to damage things. They want chaos. And then there's so many other organizations that are linking right up to them. They're talking about Granny Antifa people now. Where the hell did that come from? You know what I'm saying? Let's just break the law. We're not talking about slowing down traffic. We're not talking about, peaceful protests. We're talking about violence. You know what I'm saying? And it's at some point, somebody's going to start to believe their own bullshit, okay? And someone's going to get themselves pew-pewed. It's going to be that easy, People showing up to people's houses, people doxing people thinking that they're mentally in the right place when they're not. If you're standing on somebody's front porch banging on their door, you know what I'm saying, or trying to force your way in there, or endangering, or even just showing the presentation of danger to their family or their children, you're going to get yourself laid out in the yard, and you're going to get to paint the grass. It's that easy. It's going to happen sooner or later. And I think that they're trying to push it to that point, but I don't think it's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to be okay for them because, I hate to say it, a lot of people in the 2A community, in the Constitutional Republic community, are like, yeah, I will do this and I will do that. But the thing is Americans they're not pacified, but they don't have the taste, okay, for a violent revolutionary action. They don't have the taste buds for it. They have very good lives, and they're more than willing to talk about and lean on their rights because they think that those rights protect their actions, okay. It's I think it's kind of sad because it's going to get to the point where someone's going to have to get schwacked trying to get into somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a fake police officer, and you know what I'm saying? And some bad stuff's going to happen before people actually really, really take notice. Because right now, it's kind of funny too, because let me give you some data points. So last week and the week before last, all of the key players that could possibly be Democrat presidential candidates were just talking as much smack as possible, trying to look as tough, as manly and as presidential as possible, and it wasn't working out for him. They started to figure out that men are basically tired of their crap. Every single one of their candidates are not seen as manly, and women are starting to shift back to, oh, by the way, I like protectors. I like real men to take care of me. I like real men to have my back, even if we're just a team. I like a real man, even if he just wants to stay home and be, dad mom. You know what I'm saying? At home dad guy. I still want him to have the ability to lay it down if necessary. You know what I'm saying? So this whole thing where Captain Skinny Pants is freaking, is now the new thing of manhood. Yeah, it's not real. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? And so this is all kind of blowing up in their face. But as usual, they double down on it like fools. And then some crazy stuff happens, like a guy wearing a human bald guy mask, dressed up as a police car with his own, as a policeman with his own police car, all the police gear that makes him look as real as possible, knocks on someone's door and then just blasts, just like shracks people. You know what I'm saying? He's got a list, he's got a plan, he's gonna do something, right? And and then you find out who he is, or who he supposedly is, right? And then you look at the person like it happened to, like, how did this broad, all right, how did this state senator, okay, how did she make #1 on the list? Well, apparently there's video that, she voted no on some kind of healthcare initiative within her state. And what's up, Blaine? Good to see you, bro. And if I'm sorry, I'm shoeboxing right now, guys. Or I'm sorry, I'm soapboxing. I don't want to stand on a shoebox. I'm soapboxing right now. But so a video has been uncovered where this woman, who she's the senator that got schwacked, who voted, and she was one of 2 senators, or I'm sorry, a representative and a senator who voted against this healthcare initiative that was going on in Minnesota. And she is like telling this interview person why she did it, and she is like, she is not herself. She is like, she's under a tremendous amount of stress for whatever reason. And come to find out, she is like one of the most like easy to work with people that is on the left. She was very centrist, although she was a Democrat, but she was very quick to reach out to people on the right, to like try and figure out problems, to put people in rooms to talk about things. She voted to end Social Security for adult illegals. I gotcha. So she's apparently the super person. So like, what made her be #1 on the list? The guy had to be like, she's either like lives closest to me and then she's the easiest one to get. You know what I'm saying? The guy clearly had a plan. He had a list, and he had it figured out. I'm going to go to this place. I'm going to do this. I'm going to drive down the road 8 miles. I'm going to do this. I'm going to drive another 10. You know what I'm saying? He had a plan. It didn't work out for him, thank God. That is for sure. But like, what made her the first one on the list? Something to think about. And it's unfortunate because the left. Once again, it's just data points. I'm just throwing data points out there. Was she a friend of Clinton's or Obama's? There's no. Alrighty then, what's going on, Canada? I don't know, but it's like, so the guy was systematic. What made her the #1 on the list? Apparently, he actually had not a dossier. What's the word I'm looking for when they write a book about why they're doing things? Somebody put it in the chat. Also, I think it's a good idea. It's a good time right now. It's a good time right now to put a #1 in the chat if you love your country, America. And there we go. I'm gonna sip some Pepsi, not a sponsor. I'm going to talk some smack, I'm going to spit some truth, and we're going to continue on with this thing that we are doing. Manifesto, absolutely, 100%. Who doesn't have a list? I know, right? Well, I don't have that kind of list. My lists are like how to get stuff done, you know what I'm saying? My lists are like things to do, like stack cans, or make a video, or go on a ride, or my lists have nothing to do, It's like that, we all think it's funny, until it happens, but it's like that, what was that, it wasn't Happy Gilmore, was it Billy Madison or something like that? That Adam Sandler movie where he like calls the guy and says, I just wanted to tell you I was a real dick, and, then the guy's like, and he like scratches his name off the list, So, but yeah, it's kind of weird what's happening with like I said, all the data points that we can connect, and I don't want to do like the tinfoil hat connecting the dot things. I think that's ridiculous. I think data points point to factual things that are actually happened or happened. They're not spitballing. You know what I'm saying? I loved your beard. What's up, Holly? I appreciate you. Yeah, I do need to trim it. It's getting kind of crazy. I do. I need to cut down on the sides. I need to get the girlfriend to dye it. I really do. Minority Reporter. They didn't want her give a vote for the Republican side. Yeah, well, I know. It's crazy, man. Yeah, Billy Madison. There we go. And what was the last thing in the title? What was the last thing? I put 3 things in the title. Civil War. And so, you know, I hate to harp on the whole Civil War thing. I hate to even say that we're close. What I will tell you is that there are people that want this divisiveness now on both sides. So Captain Red Tie, you know, he, you know, I hate to say it, but I don't see him as sowing divisiveness. I see him as somebody like FAFO. That's how I see him. If you agree, put a 1 in the chat. If you disagree, put a number 2 in the chat. It's America. Answer the way you want. You know what I'm saying? I love how I know I'm not a murderer. I don't have a manifesto yet. But, you know, it's like, what the hell was I just talking about? Civil War. Damn it. I lost my train of thought. It was a good one, too. So there is, like I said, there are people that want something to happen, but they don't want to have, oh, I'm sorry, we're talking about Trump and how I don't believe that he is a, like, divisive guy. I think he's FAFO, okay? Thank God I don't live in town, you know? There are lines being drawn all the time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but, so it's like, what's the purpose of drawing the line? What is the end result? Because if you want to control a population and you can get them to be divisive, you know what I'm saying? What is the goal? What is the goal? And unfortunately, the goal is control, okay, on both sides, all right? So if Captain Red Tie can draw these lines using FAFO, okay, mentality, where people can kind of get judgmental, you know what I'm saying? And when they're judgmental, then they feel that they're in the right, and then they're part of a group, you know what I'm saying? Then they believe what they're doing is right. On the left, they have this, you know, blue-haired freaky people mentality where we're just going to do this stuff and you're not going to stop us because this is America and the Constitution, you know, the Constitution really works for us when it doesn't work, you know, but when it doesn't work for us, it doesn't matter because we think it still works for us. You know, the same set of rules, different perspective, you know what I'm saying? You know, this is, you know, applying, and I hate to say this, guys, but applying a lot of like, the rules of war, Sun Tzu, all these different things that we think we know we're talking about, applying these things don't really work. I had another YouTuber that was talking about like asymmetric warfare, and this is what's happening, and to an extent, like if you had to scale like what he was saying to be accurate, I'd say he's a 1 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? 10 being the most accurate. They're just catchphrases for most of these people. They don't really understand what they were. In applying the principles of war to a civilian population and how they're going to react, especially in a situation where the population has freedom, it doesn't work. You know, it doesn't work because there's always going to be 1, 2, 3, a group of people. You know, what was that? Where are we at here? Impressive, I know, right? That could ruin their whole plan. You know what I'm saying? But when you have a population or citizenry that are not bound, that are not, when I say bound, I mean it in a good way, that aren't bonded by, you know, something like our Constitution, then they act like sheep. You know what I'm saying? And they'll follow anybody that is going to make their lives better. Now, that doesn't happen here. It seems as if it happens here, but that doesn't happen here because of free speech, because the right to bear arms, you know what I'm saying? Because it only takes a small group of people, you know, to make things right, you know. They say that you only need about 23% of a population to actually like tip a decision, you know, within the population. And that's why the media is so powerful, because if they can reach and control that 23% of a population, or should I say a voting age population, then they can take control. They can take control until something really stupid happens, like, you know, dress up cops killing people, or someone driving, you know, SUVs through freaking, you know, or minivan, mom's minivan through a crowd, you know, things like that. And then it's like, whoa, man, all this work we just did. You know what I'm saying? You've got at some point you got to realize that there are people that are within, we'll just say, the No Kings group, okay, that are telling themselves, oh Jesus, you know, we organized this 2,000 events, 20,000 people in this town, 10,000 in that. This is massive. The people have spoken. And then one of their nutbags decides to start shooting people in San Francisco. Yeah, that actually happened. You know, some dude's got a manifesto in a cop uniform. You know what I'm saying? And they just take it out of control. And it's like, well, then that's what do they call it? That's a false flag. Yeah, right. It's not a false flag when it works against you. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think that we just need to be, you know, I hate to say it, but the last few days I've literally been thinking about, like, maybe it's time to start open carrying. You know what I'm saying? It's legal in this state. It's legal in the other state that I go to, but, you know, it's like, are we at that point where, people need to know, like, projecting FAFO? You know what I'm saying? I really hate to do it that way, but at some point, you know, I'm very lucky. I live in a place where people wave to each other every day. People are courteous. People slow down and let Granny cross the street. You know what I'm saying? Everybody walks their dog. It's like Mayberry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very lucky. But whenever we leave that place, I'm just like, dude, I gotta be packing. It's that easy, you know? It's crazy. You know, Rose says, take the media with a ton of salt, unless I can see more of the whole story. Yeah, you know, it's crazy because you never get the whole story. And unfortunately, and I don't know why, I do not know why we have not come up with a frickin' law in this country that says that you cannot modify the story. You can only report the facts. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're going to have an opinion piece, just say, this is opinion. This is speculation. We have no facts to back up what we're about to say. And then say what they want to say. You know, I really do think that would change the game. Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know this, what was it? I think it was either WB or Time Warner has separated from I think it's MSNBC and make them stand on their own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? Some of these basically lefty TV channels are going to have to start standing on their own 2 feet, because the other businesses have been supporting them for a long time financially. I mean, you just can't. If you're not getting the ratings, you know, your advertisers are going to go someplace else. So, let's see here. Stray Kitten says, I heard Denmark said can't have no kings signs because they have a king. Yeah, exactly. So people had no tyrant signs instead. I got you. You know, I can't. I can't see. I heard that there were some international gatherings on Saturday, but I just don't think that they carried the weight. I don't think that they carried the weight that they hoped it would carry internationally. I just don't see it. All right, let's see here. How much time? I got about a half an hour unless he comes walking out here. But so what do you guys got? Throw something in the chat that I can yap about, and then we'll go from there. Stray Kitten message retracted. You don't have to retract your messages. I think we're over here in Norfolk right now, so I think when he comes out, we're gonna go find a place to eat that that we don't have over there, which is everything. Hi, it's 1:34 in Vietnam. Vietnam, what's up? I can't say your name right. HNI. Is that a J? HNILLE? Hanelli. I hope I'm saying it right. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Vegan cookies good. Snacks in car. Oh yeah, where's it at? Oh, boom, boom. Payday, mofo. Yeah, I got snacks in the car, but I think it's like we don't have a Burger King. We don't have a Taco Bell. We don't have a lot of stuff on the Eastern Shore of Virginia. So whenever we're out of town, we always try to like eat those places. Trump told Iran to de-escalate or else. Yeah. You know what's funny too? It's like there's a lot of rant about like Captain Red Tie telling Iran, guys, 60 days, it's gonna get bad. He's kind of like the I told you so guy. You know what I'm saying? 60 days, boom, 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 things started blowing up. But I mean, they brought it on themselves. They're not going to be allowed to make nuclear weapons. It's that easy. God, I mean, Israel would be like, basically one nuclear weapon of any size over Tel Aviv, and God, so many people would be dead. And you've got to remember the size of their population is so small. You have to know that Trump knew. By the way, Captain Red Tie, my name is Netanyahu. Okay, listen, here's the deal. Things are getting dangerous. We've got some intel. We want this to stop, but 60 days, that's it. Day 60, they don't want to play. They don't want to come to the table. They keep screwing around. It's over. And I think that's what happened, When I finally got a copy of NC Scout. Oh, that's a good book, Ian. That's a good book, man. That's a good book. But anyway, and it was like that's how he knew, and people were like criticizing Captain Red Tie about like what I told you this is gonna happen, or watch what happens. You know what I'm saying? They keep forgetting that he's like he'll telegraph certain things. And then they're like, well, then they start with this taco crap. It's like, really? And what happened after that? What happened like the day after the whole taco thing? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's all just the name calling of children. It's so sophomoric, it's not even funny. But anyway, so back to Iran. So to think that he didn't know what was going to happen, he knew what was going to happen. And the funny thing too is Iran basically, they were in negotiations with Iran. And Iran said, no, we don't like it. We don't like your deal. Here's our deal. And basically it was a big FU is what it was, oh, Israel's got to do this. And you know what I'm saying? It's a joke. It's a joke. It's absolutely, we're not going to play your game. You know what I'm saying? And I respect Iran's sovereignty, but they're never going to be allowed to have a nuclear weapon because they want to kill people with it. That's the big sticking point. It's not about being a global power, about saying, okay, guys, we're a nuclear country now, so stop screwing around. Let's treat us fairly. You know what I'm saying? No. They want nukes so they can kill people. They don't want nukes so they can negotiate with people. You know what I'm saying? And how do we know that? Because they publicly stated it over and over and over. Death to America. You know what I'm saying? It's got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? They want to wipe Israel off the map. They want to kill people. But hopefully they'll, I hate to say it, but it's unfortunate, but this situation is probably just going to be one where, Israel's done this before, but not to this scale. Israel is openly at war. They are attacking shit every day. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to to the videos that are surfacing. They're, you know, Iran is trying to move their missiles everywhere. They're trying to get them on trucks and just move them everywhere. And even sometimes, and they're actually trying to move a lot of them into the cities where people are, so that they're less vulnerable to attack, because, you know, the Israelis don't want to blow up civilians if they don't have to. You know, they would be justified if they did, you know, with all the stuff that's happening, that's falling down over Tel Aviv. You know, Hilly, where are you from? Where are you from? America. From America. But I live on the Eastern Shore of Virginia. Anyway, you know, it's right now they've got a window. Between Mossad and their Air Force, they've basically punched a hole in the Iranian air defense zone, so that they can just travel through there freely. And anything that gets stood up, they just get their wild weasel guys to get out there and blow it up. So they can attack anything they want to, and right now they're going after all of their missile capabilities and their nuclear capabilities. You know, also they're going after leadership, military leadership targets. You know, need an America emoji. I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna get on that, West Virginia Pappy. That's gonna be. I don't know what that would look like, but I'm gonna try and remember that one. So, let's see. Found a picture of a missile booster that fell in the backyard in Israel. I believe it. That, you know, you got to remember that, you know, for their defense nuclear, the Iron Dome and the two other ones that they have, you know, those are missiles that go up and blow up missiles. So, you know, for every one that goes up, there's probably 2 or 3 that they fire just to make sure they get the missile. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, we do have some assets that are, you know, that are shooting down their drones and their missiles that are helping out Israel. But you know, it's getting more and more difficult to stay, you know, not connected to this war, because they've told them flat out, you know, it's Captain Red Tie. Yeah, that's what I say, because sometimes videos get flagged if you say his name. Have you traveled to Vietnam before? No, I've been very close, but I've never been to Vietnam. Child abduction alert. Virginia State Police issued an Amber Alert. Hold on. Okay, you guys there? No, that was an Amber Alert that came through here. Yeah, child alert. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that, or did you just hear me say it? That's kind of weird. Was there a camera in here I need to know about, vegan? That's crazy. I'm gonna wait for you to say something, because I'm kind of interested. Like, did that show up on your screen too? That was kind of interesting. Screen froze, but I heard you say it. Gotcha. I gotcha. I see that man breathing behind you. I know, right? Gotcha. That's interesting. That's interesting to know. This whole YouTube journey thing isn't just a big freaking interesting to know thing anyway. So, all right, let's see here. We got about, well, he should technically have about 15 more minutes, but I don't know what's going to happen. So, is there anything to take in here for headaches? What do we got here? Acetaminophen. I might take that. I need to get some naproxen in this car. I tell you what, that stuff is magic for my headaches. Oh. I'll take some Tylenol. All right, guys. Let's see here. Use as directed. Oil prices slipping. Yeah, I mean, it's going to fluctuate. You know, we don't get a lot of our oil from them anyway, so we don't get any oil from Iran. Let me just take 1,000 milligrams here. I think that's a global price index. But, you know, low oil prices are kind of good. It's just like there's this medium, you know. If you go past like $62 a barrel, people start freaking out. If you go below $62 a barrel, people start freaking out. Is this thing backwards? Is this backwards, guys? I need to know. I'm curious. What's the price of gas in your area? It fluctuates. I think the local gas station is $2.89. When you get out to the highway, it's about the same. And then I've seen like $3.04, $2.99. So I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It is backwards. Okay, yes, backwards. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. But you know, I guess the nice thing is that the price of gas hasn't gone up that I've seen. You know, it's crazy. All right, but when it's $100 a barrel from the last administration to one, no one bats an eye. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's gas prices are basically just a big selling point for an administration. That's all it is. You know, I like that gas prices are lower. I truly do. You know, nobody. You know, I remember. I remember when gas prices were like $1 a gallon. You know, it's like. And then when it started to go up, like during the Gulf War, it went to like $2.50 a gallon. People started freaking the hell out. You know, now it's the norm. People are the instability, not the economy. Or that's true, Cole. That's true. Eggs are $3.50 a dozen here. That's about right. I mean, and honestly, I think that's kind of a fair price. I remember when a dozen of large Wick eggs were 99 cents, and that's great. That's great. You know what I'm saying? But I also think that those eggs, it's kind of weird because they're the same eggs that were like right next to it that weren't Wick. You know, I think you need a Wick card to buy Wick products at that price. What happens when zombies run out of brains to eat? Oh, that's a tough question, man. That's a tough question. I don't know. I don't know, man. You know, and it's funny too because here's what's funny about that. If you watch any of the modern zombie movies, they're like eating arms and guts and they don't really care about the brains. They're just pretty much just want to bite and eat you. You know? Too late. Vegan cookies, thanks for the 99 cents. Make sure everybody gives him a like. Oh, that's funny. Too late. I fell for it. You got me. I'm too slow. All right. It's like, too slow. Get back. All right, guys. Let's put a subject in there, and we shall talk about it. I'm thinking maybe we go to Jersey Mike's. It's only 24 minutes away. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's you know, the world seems like it's falling apart, but I'm here to tell you it's not. Mexican nationalists. I haven't really heard very much about Mexican nationalists. Are you talking about all the people who are like flying Mexican flags, working at the, you know, or the people who want Mexico to take back, you know, they're part of, you know, what used to be California or whatever, you know. They run for Congress. That's funny. You know, I think, I hate to say it, but I think we need to limit. I think we need to limit. I think we need to put a limit on the people that are allowed to run for government leadership positions, you know, the Senate, you know, jurists, the Congress in general, and the presidency. I think we need to limit them having the ability to run for office until they've been a U.S. citizen for 20 years. And I think that could solve some of our problems, because what we have now is we've got a group of people that, you know, basically like the squad, for lack of better words. Is it an organization? I don't know what that is. I'll come back to that in a second. And I think that would slow the roll of some of this stupidity that's happening inside the Congress, because, you know, we have a game plan we have to follow. We have rules, constitutional rules we have to play by. Where we've allowed these people that hate our country to be representatives of people who may hate our country inside of our own government. You know, it's bigger than just, hey, I married my brother to become an American. You know, it's bigger than that. So, let's see. Somebody typed something. Is that an organization? They run for Congress. 2 of my YouTube shorts got yanked, so I haven't been posting much lately. What did you do, Vegan Cookies Good News? What did you do? I mean, come on, man. It's an organization. I don't know what you're asking. Is what an organization? Oh, the Mexican nationalism. I'm sure. Number 8, Mike's Way. Well, I do love the Mike's Way sauce. I got put onto that. I've always had it made my way, but I do like the Mike's Way stuff. Should be term limits on campaign finance. Yeah, there should be all sorts of limits. It's ridiculous. Honestly, senators should have more time to represent their state, but more than 20 years is kind of goofy. I've always believed, I'm asking about Mexican nationalist. Is that an organization? I don't know. I don't know. I know there was a push in the last few days for, so basically like Mexicans that were, they were like, this is our land and you took it from us, and you know, and then the counter argument is, yeah, and then there was like the Aztecs who, you know, you took it from, and then the Spaniards who took it from them, and then you took it from the Spaniards, and it's like it makes their point moot. That's me in the Discord, no worries, it can wait. I got you, Bradley. I'll check it out when I can. Congress should be paid their state's median income to increase wages. Okay. Billy King, good to see you. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you as well. Yeah, I think that no one should be in Congress for more than 12 years. And I think that gives them the opportunity to create longevity within the position, to know how things work. The argument has always been, well, you got to stick around long enough to know how things work. It's like, okay, so we're going to stick around long enough to know how things work that don't work. You know, it's there's always two sides to that conversation, and the reality is that right now their side doesn't work. Their side doesn't work because it's like, you've got to be around. You know, this guy really knows how things work. No. This guy's got enough people in his pocket to where he can get what he wants. And unfortunately, it's not about getting things that they want for their constituents. It's getting things that they want for themselves. You know, let's see, 100% on that. Hey, Tucson, what's going on, bro? Rose says there should be term limits for all, not just the president. No congressional. Yeah, exactly. We need to get these. I hate to say it, but the age of the major people that are playing in our Congress is very it's very connected to the fact that things don't get done. It's like, okay, so why are things not getting done? Where's the friction point there? Who are the people that are supposed to be getting things done that aren't getting things done? Well, it's all these frickin' octogenarians. You know what I'm saying? It's and I hate to say it, but we do need younger people in there. But we need people in there that are not driven by emotion. And that's the problem that we have right now. So it's like the saving grace is that the octogenarians are keeping the lights on, but but if we let the younger generation in there that think they know everything about everything, but they're emotionally driven, then we're going to have even bigger problems. So it's like a double-edged sword. We're screwed no matter how we swing it, you know. What's up? What is that? ZSOLT, Raphael. Zolt. I'm just calling you Zolt. And no retirement plan or special insurance. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think if they do, my opinion is that if they do 12 years, then they get the retirement plan and the insurance that goes with it. It's that easy. If you give 20 years to the military, you get their retirement plan and you get the insurance plan that goes with it. You know what I'm saying? We also have to remember too that many of the people that are in Congress stepped away from their own businesses, stepped away from their own families, and the idea is that they went to serve. You know what I'm saying? The problem is here's the problem. Here's the problem, guys. There's a huge difference between a politician, okay, and a what's the word I'm looking for? Statesman. If you look back to the founding of our country, many of the people did not want those jobs. And many of the people that wrote our Constitution, that wrote the Federalist Papers, that got the ball rolling so that we could be a country, with all these rights, you know what I'm saying? Did it kind of part-time, and they were like, okay, I'm going to come do this stuff for you guys, but listen, I just want to stop. You know what I'm saying? You have to remember that these guys like fought in wars for us. They're tired, but they knew they had to keep giving. And, but they're like, okay, so I came, I saw, I kicked ass. We got this all on paper. I got to take a break, guys. I'm done. And then they would disappear, you know what I'm saying? And they would write and they would build their businesses, and take care of their families and just kind of like do that whole, I'm retired. I did what you wanted me to do, but now I gotta stop. And then some years later, when things were going wrong, they would like get up with them and say, hey, dude, we got problems. We need your help again. It's kind of like the retired Superman mentality. He's just tired of saving people. So he goes on retirement and things go bad and we need him back. And that's what a statesman is. The statesmen come there, they do the job they're asked to do, and then they leave. Okay? Politicians, it's their job. I'm just going to hang out here, get a little rich on some insider trading stuff. I'm going to pretend that I'm taking care of my family, but I only see them once every 3 months. Hey, listen, I can just argue on CNN for an hour and get famous and have a talk show and a podcast. And one day I'll be good as Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to do here in Congress. We don't have statesmen anymore. We have a couple out there that are really close to it. We don't have statesmen anymore. We have politicians. If you agree with me, put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, and most of the founding fathers were in their early 20s. Yes, these were not old men. You know what I'm saying? They were not old men. By our standards anyway. By our standards. So people back then, if they lived into their 40s, were kind of lucky. Let's see here. Outlast 2 governors, give up governorship to become a senator who has more power. Yeah, we see that a lot. Here in Virginia, you're only allowed to be governor 1 time. And so after you do that, what a lot of times they do is they go and they run to be a senator, or a representative. They want to continue to be a politician, instead of like, oh, by the way, what'd you go to college for, man? Maybe you should start a business doing that, So, okay. So, let's see. A lot of people agree with me. That's good to hear. Rose says, but how many of them gave their lives for what they believed? How many would be willing to take that chance today? Oh, none of them. Absolutely none of them. I'm sorry, that's a simple answer, Rose. None of them. We don't live in that kind of world anymore. People don't understand that. They're not listening. People don't live in that world anymore. Things are not life or death for Americans. Even in people that are the most impoverished citizens in America. They have $1,000 cell phones that they talk on, like this. Okay? It's crazy. They get the government to pay for their stuff. They work if they want to. You know, and with the whole thing that you can't talk about, you know, with that whole situation going on for a couple of years, people were like, well, I don't even know why I worked from my house for like 2 years. Why do I need to come to the office? Well, you know, you're right. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing. We got this big building. We're paying a lot of rent on it. No one wants to buy it. So yeah, you got to come to work, man. It's a business. If you don't want to come to work, then we're going to have to find somebody who will come and sit in that seat, because that's what we want, because we pay the bills and it's our business. And we, as the business, are taking all of the chances here on people like you. So you're either going to buck up or you're going to shut up. It's that easy. Hey boys, I'm back. What movie? I know, I understand it. It is sad. Congress was supposed to hold their jobs to work while in recess. Yeah, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I used to have like this dream. It's like, so if you could be president for like a week, what would you do? And I used to be like, you know what? I'm going to get the FBI, the DEA, the Secret Service. I'm going to get every federal agent I can find. And we are going to like show up at these senators and these representatives' house. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to snatch these guys up and we're going to put them in a warehouse and pay for all the pizza they want to eat, you know, in box wine or whatever. And then we're not going to let them out until they fix the shit. And it sounds great. It sounds great. It doesn't, but it doesn't look good on paper, and it's definitely not constitutional. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that whole mentality that this thing is easy to fix, and it's not. You know, even if there were like a violent revolution where some other group or organization took control and said, don't worry, we're fixing everything. We're going back to the Constitution, its basis. We're wiping out all the stupid laws that are screwing people up. Even if we did that, which is impossible, it still wouldn't be right, because there's always going to be this class of people that do nothing but complain. You could tell them that, hey, we're going to put something in your car, all right, that makes all the lights turn green. And they would just complain that they never got a red light, you know. Government is a great business. Stakeholders pay all the expenses while not turning a profit. That's true. I hate the fact, you know, the military started being looked at as a business years ago. I want to say in the early 90s. And, you know, the idea was we're going to get rid of the $400 toilet seats and hammers. And that's great. That's great. But, you know, if you didn't know, that was just a front to pay for black ops. It's that easy. You know, box wine tactic. There you go. Box wine solves problems. Harry says, I think Jefferson said, the best man you can put in the office is the man you have to put in there. Exactly. You know, they didn't go looking for people who wanted it. They went looking for people who didn't want it. You know, they were apprehensive about the whole thing, you know. So, it's crazy. The whole thing's crazy, man. Man, he should be coming out of here any minute now. It's 3 o'clock. He should be done. Scavy stoner. This guy looks like he just fell off frickin' the Appalachian Trail. He's in downtown Norfolk. Those kind of people drive me nuts. They think it's like a lifestyle to wear like hiking gear and shit, and when all they really do is go to the office. Bradley says, got a buddy like that. Only guy I know you could give $1 million tax-free, and he would complain he had to spend it. He had to spend/save it. I need a nap soon. Hot at work today. Yeah, well, that happens, man. That happens. Okay, well, guys, we've been going at this for 1 hour and 23 minutes. I think I've got enough rant. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications for when I do go live or I do drop another video. I have a couple video scripts written up, but I've got to the point now where I'm kind of like really fine tuning them so that you guys are getting as much out of it as possible. I want to thank you for hanging out with me, and yeah, that's gonna be about it. That's gonna be about it. Whoa, this guy just zipped right in here. This is this skeevy stoner dude. Nose ring, can't grow a beard, like 110 pounds wet tops. Anyway, okay, that's gonna be about it, guys. Stay safe, have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. Bye bye. There's a button right there.